show matches. Today we have Fenton versus LoopyLoo. Last time they played off camera and we casted their replays, but this time they're playing for us live. I am casting with Zero Lambda as always, who's got apparently problems speaking tonight due to the revolt of his body and parts of his mouth, apparently. So,
Yes. It sounds very gross, but it's not that big of a deal. It's okay. Revolting in my mouth, yes.
it's revolting indeed. Anyway, as always, we'd like the players to answer 3 simple questions about themselves as StarCraft players and one for a fun one, so we can get to know them a little better themselves. Since you guys didn't get to answer this question last week, I'm going to use the exact same one for you guys and change it up for everybody else. So I want your rank. By that, it's rank, race, region. Essentially, what I really want is your league, but it's using 3 R's and sounds cooler that way. So rank, the race that you're going to play tonight, and the region you typically play on. We're on an A. Where do you usually ladder? We will start with LoopyLoo.
Right, so I am currently silver, rank-wise, but I like to still think of myself as gold to make me feel better. But it's been a while since I played, so the rust has pulled me down to silver. I race random most of the time. Best at Zerg, though, if you need to know that. And region is Europe.
Great. How about you, Fenton?
Hello, everyone. I am right now silver. I like to do Protoss. I might switch it up tonight, so that'll be fun. And North America.
Okay, great. Our for fun question then is simply this. I would like to know what your favorite topping on desserts is.
Yeah, I thought that was it.
Oh, let me count the ways.
So whoever wants to go first on this, just go for it. If you need more time to think, you can take it. If you
An
both
ice
need
cream
to,
cone. There you go.
that is actually a topping in some situations, so yes, that counts.
It's the best I got. I don't top things.
No, you can make like ice cream sundaes and stuff where you just stick the cone into the top of it. I've seen people
yeah,
do it
that's
before.
what I meant.
It looks a little ridiculous, but it's kind of awesome at the same time.
Yeah.
I like Oreos. Oreos all day. Anything Oreo.
Ooh,
Nice
speaking my language.
choice. Actually, fun thing to try that my mom actually does this from time to time. She gets, instead of like ordering cookies and cream ice cream, she'll get vanilla and Oreos, smash them together and melt them together and then refreeze it. It's really good.
Oh.
Awful for you, but it's awesome because you're basically making a giant blizzard. That's what it is, because it basically is how they make those at Dairy Queen. So it's pretty awesome stuff. But yeah, in any case, so let's go ahead and get to the matches themselves. So now we need to figure out what maps we're playing on. For this process, we need you to veto 4 of the 7 maps in the map pool. But we don't have any way of determining who goes first and second on this because we are not a tournament. So for this process, I would like you to play rock, paper, scissors. And the way you do this is you right-click on my name in StarCraft, or my portrait, whatever, and whisper rock, paper, scissors at me, and I'll tell you who won. Whoever wins gets to decide if they want to veto first or second.
I was gonna say they get the Oreo ice cream, but
No, they don't get the Oreo ice cream. I do. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, sorry to throw it off there. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. Fenton want rock. Lou want paper.
Yeah.
So, Loopy, would you like to veto first or second?
I'm gonna be a bit chaotic today. I'm gonna veto second.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Mess things up.
I'm gonna veto pools.
Okay. Furno's off. Next one.
Right. I'm gonna. I thought about what you said. I'm gonna veto Echo.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna get rid of
My best map, but you know.
Iron Fortress.
Just, alright.
Okay, one more.
So, which one is the most normal? Let's get rid of Expedition Lost.
Okay.
Okay, so what would you like to play on first, Fenton?
Let's do Vinay.
Okay. And second?
Let's do Cactus Valley.
Okay.
And Coda will be third.
Perfect.
Should be an entertaining match. All right, guys. Good luck. I will, as always, remind you that you may come back for the post-game interview if you have time. Particularly if you've won, we ask that. If you haven't, you're still welcome back anyway. But it's up to you. You feel like you gotta go like punch somebody, you might want to do that before you come. Did you know?
This is the most important thing in my life. So if I fail, I don't think I'll be able to recover.
No. Okay. Just making it clear. In any case, good luck, guys. We'll see you after the matches.
Good.
Okay.
All right, so I think I should probably rearrange the lobby. That looks a little strange.
What is this emote?
What?
I'm just looking at what you're typing in the chat.
Oh yeah, it's Pixel. From here we go. I'm just gonna spam them all. Bam.
I have a feeling I've never seen the stream that this is from.
Nope. She was one of the frag dolls before they split, and then she's got her own stream, her own partnership, and all that fun stuff now.
Nice. Okay.
Cool. Gonna check and see the players are ready here. Off into game 1. Best of 3. Bonnie Research Stations.
Yep. I guess Huck was known for doing that all the time, the heart symbol thing. Well, that emote is actually technically from the Day 9 TV chat. That's the Huck one, because he's also known for doing that with his probes.
Oh, it's so awesome. I love watching him stream. And he'll banter with the viewers and stuff, and then he usually does that when he expands the Nexus. He'll draw the heart for everybody. So,
Okay. Clearly, what we need to do is eventually get like absurdly good at drawing other pictures at the beginning of the match. Should be the whole point of it. Eventually, people will just watch you to see you somehow draw.
With a shift click.
Yeah, you're just your shift click drawing like Roni Kenshin somehow.
Shift
Got
click
the X on his face and everything.
Shift click the Mona Lisa. You know. Oh.
Race orc mouse.
Loopy has some mouse trouble. Gonna hang out here for the moment.
I'm gonna press this button. I'm gonna press this button so I can use this button for production tab. Yay!
I'm counting. That's right.
Game resumed.
We've counted. Look, have fun, have fun, have fun, have fun, have fun. Spawning in the top of the map, in the center. Yellow Terran player. It is LoopyLoo.
On the bottom of the map, commenting that his opponent is apparently playing Tauren, we have our orange Protoss player, Fenton LFC.
Teletubby. Nah, not Teletubby, it's Teletubby.
You gotta be careful about that. Those things are scary.
Oh,
you gotta get their names right.
They
if
have
you get their
children's
names wrong, they'll kill you.
Yeah, they have children's faces in their gut. They're serious. They're not fooling around.
It's that's actually one of those things though where I think you could do that with a lot of kids shows, that if you just took random clips from them and showed them to people, it's actually super disturbing.
Oh no.
No, just in general, not because like it's intended to be, but because the mind of the person that the entertainment is intended for is vastly different than the way we are now.
Oh yeah, no.
So it is like looking into the mind of an insane person very briefly.
Well, definitely it's something I noticed the other day. Actually, I went back a couple weeks ago and tried to watch the old Spider-Man cartoon, and the pacing in it is ridiculously fast. It's ridiculous. There's only about 15 minutes of content because commercials. You know, they bombard the children with commercials, and the rest of it is they know you can't sit still for more than 5 minutes. So the episode moves so fast, and an adult's mind is like, you know, I didn't really get anything from that.
Yeah, and well, there's multiple ways of doing that. Of course, some people definitely do it better than others. But I do remember that very kind of in general about the Spider-Man shows. I never thought nothing happened in any episode.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can think back on certain other things, and occasionally you'll remark on that, like, oh, it's like nothing really happened for this episode. By the way, Dragon Ball Z, kind of a bizarre exception to this, because
Yes.
everyone liked it anyway. It was kind of like
Nothing happened for several episodes at a time. So, yes.
I guess they just found other ways to make it intense, or people were that bored and there was nothing else on TV. I mean, I don't really know. It is amazing to look at Kai, though, like that republishing of the series that they did, where they made it follow the pacing of the manga rather than stretch it out. Like, they get done with the first arc in a single season. This is insane to think about.
That's scary. Very strange.
It's over and done with. They're flying the Namek.
Holy crap.
There's no charging. It's like they just charge up and go. Just boom. Which is what they did in the actual thing. Like, there was no sitting around screaming for more than basically a page. That was it.
Yep.
Anyway, we have a Reaper now running around the base. Standard opener from LoopyLoo. This scout's particularly important. Lets you know if they decide to go for any particularly greedy Nexus timings, which you can see why he was checking that first. And also, if you're particularly good, you could probably pick off at least one probe with it, but that's not really needed.
Nope, had a pretty good, solid setup there by Fenton, too. He had a Zealot, a Stalker, and a Mothership Core waiting for that thing. In its retreat path, actually, so.
The Black Star, don't get confused. Not the entire series, just the first arc. Then the second arc done in a season. And
Yes.
then the third arc.
No, not the whole thing, just did the arcs. Yeah.
You could probably finish the series in about 100 episodes rather than like 300. Like, that's how fast the pacing originally was. But yeah. In any case, getting completely distracted. Luke was going for an expansion himself. I think he picked up enough information to guess that Fenn's not doing anything weird with his expansion either. This is pretty typical stuff. He's grabbing an early sentry as well. Probably see him pick up a Stalker soon. He's got the Mothership Core for any defense against early attacks. And there are builds that exist to counter this exact thing that he's doing right now, by the way. You don't go for the expansion at all. You grab a starport more or less around where he is now, but there's no armory. You're getting another barracks, and you just pump out tons of Marines with a couple siege tanks. Do it right, and particularly if you happen to run into the Protoss's base when he's doing something else, you will just kill everything.
Yep, super scary. Get that timing right. Protoss had... we have to expand, but it kills us. It's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, honestly speaking, it's not that bad. You eventually get used to... this guy's getting out of here alive this time.
Maybe
yes,
he...
is.
Oh, wait, that's the Stalker.
No, he's running into a Stalker.
Yep. Nope.
He's pretty lucky. I think he could have taken 2 more shots easily from the Stalker if he hadn't microed it. One of those things that happens every now and again. But in any case, I'm only bringing that up because somebody killed me with it today, and I was like, oh, cool, you build countered me. Fantastic. Next game.
Next in line.
The only thing I learned from that game was, like, I knew he was doing something because I didn't get scouted at all. If nothing shows up, no SCV, no Reaper, it means that they're either really new, I'm in Platinum, that's not happening anymore. So, or basically they're just, they're planning some kind of attack and scouting is completely unnecessary. So usually in that case, I get uber paranoid about cloaked things, so I'll get like an observer and keep it in my base. But if I run the observer out forward, or if I run a unit out forward and it picks up any attack coming, the photon overcharge is there before they run up my ramp, and then I don't die. Yeah.
Photon overcharge. Heck yeah. Saving Protoss from early Terran cheese until the end of time. Now we got a Banshee coming out. Vehicle weapons, lots of Hellions. Fire burning.
And we have a Banshee with Cloak. It's just about to hit. Looks like he's biding his time on that. Where is that Banshee?
Oh, it's here somewhere. There it is, just sitting in the base.
Oh, it's unfortunate. Probably should have had this moving down here a little bit earlier, otherwise he wouldn't be able to attack the instant Cloak was done. Not to say that he can't still do damage with it anyway. There's some defenses already in position. I actually like this cannon placement from Fenton here. This will make it a little bit difficult to just dive in. He'll have to specifically micro it around that edge. But there's still a lot of airspace for him to work with here, and all he has to do is get behind the natural, and then he can just fly away uninhibited. However, I have a feeling the Banshee is really only an afterthought here, as it looks like we've got some QXC Hellions going on here.
Don't have transformation servos yet, I don't believe.
That phrase, apparently, by the way, is just that if the QXC is the kind of person, apparently, who, if he sees a player not adequately defending against the possibility of a Hellion run by, he just goes for it. Completely negligent of the risks involved.
Just throwing Hellions at him. Just because. You got the money. Why not?
And sometimes when you do things enough on ladder, people will name them after you.
Got two Banshees building up the flank over on the right side of the map. Hellions moving in on the left. Looking for a pincer attack?
Yeah, this could be extremely, extremely dangerous for Fenton. Honestly, it depends a little bit on how much he pulls to defend this. Obviously, you don't need the Zealots. You kind of want to keep them on the ramp a little bit spread out, and the Hellions won't get up there. They won't do anything. Good force field, cuts them in half, and you're fine. Or he wants to Hellbat. This is probably going to work. Actually, well, if he doesn't get the force field in the right spot, this is fine. These guys are going to do a number on the Zealots, though. Yeah, that force field really needs that force field. Does have the Photon overcharge, so he should be able to hold this, but now they're getting through, and their next target should be that Sentry. Nope, he's just gonna take the damage. He's pulling these Stalkers out forward, and here comes the Banshees around the right side. I think he wants to go for the attack here. Unfortunately, these attacks did not occur at the same time. So the effectiveness of this is going to be very, very blunted.
Yeah, it seems to forgot about these Banshees as the attack began, but out of the range of the cannon, 3 Banshees can one-shot a worker easy.
He gets 4 or 5 workers so far. He's a little more than that to have made 3 Banshees worth it. And unfortunately, he's flying up into the direction of an observer. So Cloak isn't going to help him here when he starts utilizing it. Oh, is the Observer out of position? Yes, it is. The Observer was left out in front of the base, so these guys are going to get some more worker kills.
Worker kills 11 total so far. Working on this assimilator now. Was picking off a pylon there earlier. One is deathly low on health, though, so once this Observer arrives, there it goes.
Oh, doesn't want to lose these. Wants to keep at least one of them alive in order to keep the pressure going. Oh, he's getting greedy.
Taking pot shots on the way out there.
Yep.
Banshee keeps her life for now.
So Fenton's been reduced down to 33 workers. LoopyLoo has a 41 to 33 lead. So at this point, I love what he's doing here, getting more production, getting a third up. He has to build up this economic lead now, because that's the easiest way for him to get ahead in this game. Now, the thing is, he's also got a massive bank. So he's got to turn that bank into units. He needs more stuff, or it's not going to mean anything that he killed that many workers. Oh, it might if he kills enough, though.
Oh, they're all lining up.
QXC Hellions where they work.
Oh,
they should have, but they shot the cannon. Oh, that's too bad. I think he killed a worker, maybe, just now.
Cannon drew the AI there, unfortunately, on the Hellions. Pulled them off the workers, and they only got, what, 5, I think? Is what it shows on there? On the side?
Fenton, as weird as this may sound, Fenton should probably counterattack right now. I mean, you know what? He has no way of knowing it. He has no way of knowing that his opponent hasn't spent his money. If he had any way to scout, though, that the base was this empty, it's such a good target right now.
If only he could.
If only
scout.
he had an observer or
only
something.
there was an observer on the other.
Okay.
My. How terrible. It's tragic.
No, we're rousing on him a little too much here. He survived an attack. He's worried about more crap coming into his base.
Yeah,
he also knows that he didn't kill that Banshee, so he's worried about it. But now he's not worried about it. He's going to go for that attack. Here he comes. He's got 57 army supply to 23 right now for LoopyLoo, who is producing some good units. He's got a Thor and a Raven on the way. Might need a little more than that.
Army movement too, so he knows there's not a whole lot here now.
Oh, there's nothing watching this attack path either. So this is the first he's heard of this. Oh, he's got to pull that Thor back and get some repair. Oh, it's by itself.
Oh.
No, Loopy saved the Thor.
Fenton led it away from the rest of the army.
Oh, there's too much stuff. Yeah, he's just dead. That's so unfortunate. Fenton having done incredibly good damage, but doesn't really follow it up right. Not Fenton, sorry. Loopy didn't really follow it up right. Fenton made the correct choice there, going for that attack like that. Sometimes your opponent just is not ready to deal with it.
Very well done, though. Yeah, just took the opportunity. He knew his opponent was down on unit count, and that was it. Cut and dry.
Yep.
Check with the players here real fast. Game 2 will be on Cactus Valley. We never see this map. Everybody vetoes it.
Yeah, you see it a fair amount in and Legacy of the Voidcast. I think it's just because the map pool size is 8, so it's actually impossible to reduce all of the 4-player maps out of the way. And a lot of people will leave this one before they leave something like Inferno. So it's a pretty interesting map to watch games on. It has some pretty abusable terrain, though, as we were discussing with Prue and F the other day. Cannon rushes on this map, if you find your opponent right away, are very, very strong.
Finding them is the big deal, actually. That's why none of the 4-player maps make it, usually. They don't like to find, they like to know. Get somebody like Prinef runs all his Reapers in there at once. Or proxies, yeah. Doesn't even need to scout. Just get that proxy up.
I'm using Blackstar. I'd almost be...
The name of the Thor and son
the
of the
name
Holy
of the
Factory.
barracks, the factory, and the starport.
The Holy
Give us
Trinity.
our 111. May our opponents not be well defended. What was the name of that map? Test bug or whatever it was, where that 111 was ridiculously strong, and everyone had lag on it.
Map test.
It had like 3 different terrain types on it, lava and 2 other things. It
Oh,
looked
and it
really cool. It just broke everybody's machines.
murdered everything. Oh,
But it was also a tiny map, and it was 3-player spawns, and the 111 was super good on it. Super good.
I mean, I imagine caching 3 times the amount of terrain would be...
Actually, was it a 3-player spawn or a 2-player spawn that looked like a 3-player map? I can't remember. It was probably a 2-player. Or else the 111 wouldn't have been so good on it. Never mind.
LoopyLoo was happy with the 2v2, and suddenly shy surprise. The 1v1 again.
Do you know Jiu-Jitsu?
You're chopping off his head now. Decapitated child above. Alright, getting us started here. Cactus Valley Ladder Edition! Zerg versus random this time. Protoss.
Yeah, this should be interesting to see what he gets from Loopy in response to this. We could get a ZVZ, in which case any notes that we make about the map itself are going to be pretty relevant, because it comes down mostly to micro at this level. It is actually a matchup with a lot of strategy to it. Like it's just so much faster. So if your micro is not up to it, your macro decisions probably won't matter. Oh, but it's a PVC. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Game paused.
And Loopy pauses.
Yep.
Again. Bum, 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 bum. The ritual, he says.
Yes. Well, once he gets into that point, he won't need to pause anymore, because he'll just be like, click on this, click on this, click on this, click on this, now press F10, click on controls. I may or may not have some experience with it.
Well, I do the same thing when we start observing. I
Game
actually
resumed.
have a bunch of keystrokes I go through just to get the UI set up, so. But, anyway.
In the top bottom left is our yellow Protoss player, currently down 1 game. Sorry, kind of didn't expect him to lose that one. Anyway, it is our yellow Protoss player, LoopyLoo.
His opponent spawning in the bottom right, Zerg this game, the purple player. It is DJ's Fenton.
Oh, well, to remind everybody, since there might be some confusion, Loopy is playing Express Random, as in he selected it from the main screen. However, in general, we only require that the players tell us what their best race is. They may change in between games. And personally speaking, the reason that we allow this is that most people aren't going to be good enough to exploit that the way like Scarlet does, or did. Notice that she only did it once as well. It's because, generally speaking, if you're playing your off race, you're playing worse. nobody's excused from their rule. So if you want to risk that, that's your problem. Which is why we allow Fenton to suddenly decide to play Zerg because he wanted to.
Opting for the forward first at the top of the ramp this game.
But yes, Fenton normally plays Protoss, as he said in the interview, I believe.
There's just no probe on the other side of the map, though.
No, so he might be thinking here that... oh, you know what? He said he mains Zerg. He may not know Protoss builds very well. Because I was going to say, the next thing that we should expect to see here is he plants down a Nexus. Yeah, there we go. He's just doing it in a little bit of an unorthodox fashion. Typically, you would actually put the pylon and the cannon a little bit lower toward the choke because it helps you wall it off a little bit quicker. That's not required, though. You can put up a gate. Like, usually, though, when you use this setup to kind of create a miniature internal wall off, so to speak, you would usually do it with a gateway. But gateway expands are not recommended unless you do them a lot, because the timings for them are a little strange in terms of what you're defending. You have to have very good scouting. So I like this forge opening a little bit more from LoopyLoo.
Forge is pretty good. He's going to drop the cannon at the corners. Funnel any surprise Zerglings into their range of fire there.
He does want to consider picking up a gateway soon, though, or his tech will be really delayed.
4 minutes in, and the spawning pool is complete for Fenton, and he's also moving into an expansion. He's got, got plenty of an economy here.
Yep.
Queen's coming out, gonna generate some larvae.
And yeah, we're gonna see how good Fenton's basic Zerg macro is here. Whether or not he knows to do the injects at the right time, throw it on that one creep tumor to get the bases connected for defensive purposes. I'm also curious as to see what LoopyLoo wants to do. Protoss here.
Come on, Loopy, we need a gateway. You're gonna behind main. I want an assimilator here. No probes mining from it.
Yeah, this is the part of the build, I guess, where he's maybe a little unfamiliar with it. But yeah, usually by now you would have grabbed the assimilators around 20, and your cybercore will be going down right now at 25, 26 or so. And then in the mid 30s to 40s is when you'll see tech, so like Robo or Stargate, if you're going for the fast expand builds.
Yep, and if Fenton was going for early aggression, the cybercore would allow you to get a mothership core and some stalkers, get some ranged defense on the field. Flying units against non-flying units, always a nice position to be in.
But not doing things in order is not really that important in this particular situation, though, because Fenton went for a more economy-centered opening, at least initially. Now he's packing a lot of gas. I'm very interested to see where he wants to go with that. And he doesn't know where his opponent is yet, so it's not like he's sending lings over there right now. But
technically he does, I suppose. He doesn't see everything right now, but he does know where the main
Nexus
appeared.
Yeah, he did see the Nexus. Yeah. I missed the Overlord wanding in.
So, I mean, could have been dead. Fenton willed it earlier, but he did not will it. He's building
he didn't go for roach rushes or anything else kind of snarky. But yeah, I'm actually curious as to see really what Fenton's going for here. He's picking up a Roach Warren and a Lair. Roach Warren could be for defense. Maybe he wants to go into Mutalisks, or he wants to go into Roach Hydra, obviously. Could be one or the other.
Extractor on the natural, too. Kind of up his gas income a little more. He's going to build that bank worth of gas. Ranged +1 coming on the way, so looks like he's investing in Roach. Possible switch to Hydra later. He's got lots of gas to do that with.
Yeah, it's looking like it. And fair enough. I mean, that's an extremely safe strategy. And to be honest, it's one that I think a lot of people who've only really played Zerg in campaign would probably feel super comfortable doing. Because Roach Hydra in campaign is like the strongest thing in the campaign, period.
Yeah, and they continually throw Roaches and Hydras at you in like every mission. You can upgrade them way beyond the rest of the units.
Yep. I mean, that's just assuming you're not even playing with the super upgraded evolved versions, which are so much fun. But like, it doesn't matter whether you're playing the one that spawns more roaches, like mini roaches with melee attacks.
Oh god, I love that. Yeah, it spawns roachlings when they die.
Or the one that like paralyzes everything when it hits stuff. That one's so good. You just move them at the enemy army. You don't even focus fire. You don't need to do that because they're all just going to shoot worse. It's like every time they attack, they apply -2 damage to the opponent unit. It's so stupid.
The boss in my map was that roach, actually. That's special.
Yeah.
It killed us many times.
Yeah, you gave it some really fun abilities, to be honest.
It disappears at a random interval and pops up. Hello, how are you? I'm gonna slow you now. Hope your allies are nearby. Oh, they're not. Too bad.
Exactly. Well, in any case here, it looks like both of our players are being a little bit defensive. They want to go for a big macro game with these races that they don't typically go for. And it's very, very difficult whenever you're off racing to actually do this and keep up aggression, because the macro isn't something you're familiar with, so you have to use all of your attention on it. Unfortunately, LoopyLoo is discovering the power of you need additional pylons. We do not have additional pylons.
He also didn't go for warp tech right away, so he's kind of feeling the pain of the gateway build time here. He managed to queue him up. He's keeping on top of the production, but yeah, now that he's supply blocked, doesn't have that warp gate.
Finally noticed.
Yep, units are going to slow down a little bit here for Loopy. Not a good time, actually, because Fenton decided it's time.
I think Fenton's basic macro with this race is a little bit better than LoopyLoo's basic macro. He's already ahead by a little more supply than he should be. LoopyLoo, as you can see, a very large excess of minerals. He hasn't really been able to spend. And here we go. It's a lot of roaches versus a pretty good defensive wall. Just needs to make sure he doesn't lose units for free too much. Forcing him into the cannons is pretty good. He should actually keep the stalkers up here in order to get some more shots on them. Force them to engage a little bit more. Oh, the other force fields were not there in time. It would have been a good spot to cut the army in half. But he doesn't have any cannons anymore. He does have a photon overcharge, though. Fortunately, that forge is just, with the chrono boost on, it's just like, please kill me. Please. Wander in, cancel me.
Maybe he's baiting him. He's baiting him into the photon overcharge and the force field. See now, the force field in the middle of that army would be absolutely amazing. Trapping half of it on the other side, half of it toward you. Just let the photon overcharge rip that apart.
Here comes again. Yeah, good. No, we're not.
Little dance of death here going on. Roach is poking away at this gateway.
I'm gonna kill your gateway. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
You're gonna let me have it. Oh my goodness.
You should have had it.
Upgrade
he's running out forward for some reason. LoopyLoo's losing his mind. Should be throwing down a photon overcharge to help out with this, but for some reason, he's just gonna go out there and engage. Look at it. Photon overcharge.
Trapped himself in there with the roaches with these force fields. Not gonna be enough time.
On the back of this, we have +2 attack for both players coming out here, and we also have +2 armor being researched for LoopyLoo. His army is pound for pound a little bit stronger than Fenton's, but Fenton has a massive army lead. 84 army supply to 32.
Massive army lead. The purple bar on that screen shows everything, folks. There we go. Scary for Loopy. He's getting.
Yeah, it is pretty frightening, but Fenton really also does need to expand. If he doesn't do that soon, and Loopy finds a way to keep spending his money, he's eventually going to be unable to kill Loopy's army. And then he will have to rely on one giant blast of roaches. He's thinking about it again, but the cannons make that a little bit. No, he's losing it. Really bad. Okay. Running forward, we got a couple zealots in there. Now he's actually kind of moved into the army. Both armies just sort of walked into each other, didn't fire for a little bit. That was a little strange looking, but we got half the roaches trapped on this side with a good photon overcharge. More zealots coming down here. They will rip most of these. Never mind, they'll all die. That's what's going to happen. More being warped in, but there is a Immortal still in play. If this can keep it alive, as long as he can keep this, you know what, actually, if he's going to try and focus on the Nexus, he's going to hold this.
Oh, just barely. Just barely hold this here. Down to 200 and 143. 92, 75. Fenton did not kill the Nexus, lost his entire army.
No. Yeah. And that's incredibly rough right now. There isn't any Ling follow-up coming yet either. He's getting the Hydra Den and throwing down some more roaches. But honestly speaking, he probably would have won there if he just turned and killed the Immortal.
Yeah, I know. The Immortal did so much work right there. Actually, if you take a look at it, he doesn't have zero kills. 0 kills. Never mind.
Well, he's got 0 kills, but he damaged everything. Yeah. He damaged everything, man. Look, he's the warrior right now. He's that guy in Heroes who never gets any credit. He's got bizarrely low win rates for some reason on hot slogs. But you know he's important because you feel it when he's not on your team.
Yep. He's the CC Diablo. It's flipping people over his head, just stunning them all over the place, and doesn't actually kill anybody. Gets caught behind the wall.
Yeah, by the way, did you notice that? That was real weird to me. I opened up hot slogs just to look at the overall ratings. Warriors, all of them, except for Johanna and Arthas, have like really low win rates.
Yeah, they're super low. Well, they nerfed Sonya. Sonya would be much higher, but they took away a lot of her healing ability.
But I also wonder if part of that's just skewed by a lot of new players just trying warriors out and not knowing what to do.
Oh, that could be too. Oh, there's this cool big red guy. What does he do? Oh crap, I lost.
Yeah, because you don't like what a lot of people don't know is that warriors in that game, they're not just, they're not just meat shields and control in fights, because like what they target is really what everybody will throw all their CC and damage at. So if they're like always targeting the warrior, for example, you can kind of guess where that's going to go. In other words, you need ace decision making to play one of those right. And if you're new, you don't have that yet. You'll get it, but not yet. That's why everyone's scared of playing it.
Loopy poised outside of Fenton's base. It's kind of scary for Fenton. He needs this. He needs this big time. And Loopy's going to pick it up for free here. No units to defend.
Yep. Just hit this and walk away. He doesn't need to do any more damage, and then he should maybe check around the map in case any shenanigans, cough, might be happening.
Shenanigans.
Nothing. There's nothing in the top right of the map.
Not at all.
But he didn't receive any resistance, so now he's like, where's your army? Don't go on the creep, dude. No, you want to. Don't want to do it. Actually, that's a lot of damage. Oh, he checked first. He checked first. Now he should run the other... Well,
oh, no, wrong way. No!
He's gonna just walk back. Okay, now he's gonna engage. I guess that's fine. There's a crazy surround going on, actually. Wow, look at that. He's blinking his units forward. I don't think he should be doing that, but... nope, I guess LoopyLoo feels like he's won this fight already. He's just gonna go for it, and he might just have too much stuff. I think this is GG.
Oh, super scary here for Fenton trying to hold on. These Hydras are doing so much damage, but the Stalkers are blinked, and they've been chasing their army back.
Oh, they're using it the way Vala's not supposed to use Revolve, but that's okay. Doesn't really matter.
Offensive vault. Oh, that is so bad. If you have a Vala that does that. Oh my god.
She's either really good or really bad. Like, that's the thing. People in between are too afraid to do it. People who are really good know that you can vault in some situations, offensively. People that are really bad don't know that and do it anyway. Yeah, okay.
Meant to say does, said do's. Your do's. That fun stuff.
So, yeah, so we talked about some HOTS while we watched other people play HOTS. And it looks like we're going to have game 3.
Got the HOTS for HOTS right now. Yeah, I know. Terrible. Terrible! I'm a terrible human being. Acronyms. You know, if Blizzard didn't make them all the same, we wouldn't have this problem. I wouldn't have the opportunity to make terrible puns.
Don't worry, though. It's okay, because you still have the opportunity for more terrible puns with Legacy of the Void.
Herald of the Stars.
No, it's not Herald of the Stars, but I mean, it is Parking Lot V.
Parking Lot V. No.
That's what I see every time I look at the acronym. I'm like, oh, okay. Gonna be hanging out in Lot V tonight.
Agent Omega to Lot V, please. Your lights are still on.
Sean Connery does really normal things. That's the name of that video.
What?
That's what you sounded like just now.
Greetings, old boy. Let me cash a credit.
Yes.
Would you like fries with that? You dirty wanker. Alright, I'm done. That's bad. That's bad, bad, bad. What are we doing? We're supposed to be playing StarCraft on Coda. Ladder Edition. We're going to get us started right now. Tied up 1-1. I have not abandoned HOTS, ZRQ. Called work. Family. They cause lots of scheduling issues. Having those two things is a pain, but you can't live without them, unfortunately, in most cases.
That awkward moment when a player who's supposed to be playing tomorrow is like, hey, I'm here, and I'm like,
Uh-oh.
Please tell me I didn't do that.
Uh-oh. There we go. Loading us into Coda Ladder Edition. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of the map. Yellow Zerg player this time rather than Protoss. It is LoopyLoo from No Clan. He also did not have a mouse dilemma at the beginning of the game. Very interesting. No pause. No pause. And the top left of the map, spawning as the green. Protoss player as DJ's Fenton. What was the last game? Tied up. See if you can close it out.
Okay. Yeah, this is it's been pretty interesting so far. Both players this time, it looks like they've same matchup, different players, which means it looks like they're going to be on the mains this time.
Oh man, look at that bright yellow overlord. Like a, it's like a balloon.
Yeah, right. Look at its eyes. Just
bright,
giant
flat
things.
yellow. Yeah, it's very, very scary, very bright. I am blinded as we look at it. And,
That's okay. If it was Protoss, the mothership core would have been really amazing to look at.
Oh yeah, it'd be perfect. Yellow and pink on this map make it look like a floating bubble with
Yeah,
holy light beneath it.
Oh, bright! It's so awesome. I don't know why that interaction between the effects is there.
I don't know. Maybe it's a light source. Light source might be top down or something silly like that. Reflects in a crazy way. Yeah. But in any case, we have from Fenton. Pretty quick hatchery. Sorry, Manbon. LoopyLoo says. I'm not sure what that's referring to. We'll probably find out if Manbon does show up or watches the VODs.
Okay. Okay.
Stay okay?
Okay, I have checked. I did not accidentally schedule 2 matches at the same time. I hate to have done that right now, but I was like... This is what I sound like when I'm panicking.
Don't panic, it's okay. Don't panic. You haven't even had your coffee yet. How can you panic?
Yeah, I drank half of it already.
Oh, maybe you can panic.
Well, I just
That's a
panic
lot of
inside
caffeine.
my head now. Well, enough experience, you don't panic on the surface anymore. You learned that it attracts predators.
Oh dear. They smell your fear.
Why is Fenton Walling versus Random? Well, Loopy actually did say what his race was, didn't he?
I don't know. I didn't check.
Yes, he did. So there you go. Fade, he is not cheating or doing anything weird or being insane. He's literally just reacting to the information he was given. Now, the fact that he's walling off against... Wait a minute. Oh, they both went random. Okay, I was confused. Like, Fenton announced his race, too. I was like, huh? Okay. Goes to show you how much attention I'm paying at the moment. Anyway, yeah, they both announced their races, so they both know what they're doing. Though the fact that he's walling off with the ramp and still hasn't gone for an expansion of any kind should be making LoopyLoo feel incredibly nervous.
Fine, bright yellow balloon overlord.
Yeah, so now he's wondering what is going on in this guy's base. And honestly speaking, there's really only 2 things. It's got to be army of some kind, or tech. So like a 4-gate or tech.
Or a
Oracle.
huge punch in the nuts, aka
Oracle's
the
a
Oracle.
type of tech. Oracle's a flying ball that shoots laser beams. Very common piece of tech in the Protoss arsenal. As you can see, another flying ball that shoots laser beams over to the right in the main base, called the Mothership Core. A lot of people don't like that one, and we get a new one in Legacy of the Wood, another flying ball that shoots laser beams, kind of.
And kills everything in a radius. How about that?
That's right. And you can put them in war prisms, and they move very fast. That way.
And then you just load them up and leave. And you can actually grab them from a range.
And you can kind of think of the Colossus as an enormous oblong ball that shoots laser beams.
Lasers everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Lasers.
Yes,
Lasers.
lasers and balls.
Well, Loopy's about to get his burned off as the Oracle flies in, and he's going to find a spore crawler. Not going to want to punch in on this natural.
This is the shields without killing anything. He's just going to scout. It's okay, but this hurts everywhere when you're a Protoss player. Of course, you can't just kind of hang out near the geyser and totally deny gas mining for a while if he's careful. Keeping that alive is good. In Legacy of the Void, that thing can put down mines that stop things from moving for like a minute. So
I love stasis.
Losing it in that is even more painful than it is here. Because you're like, oh. If he's gonna try and counterattack across the map, it wouldn't be as hard if that didn't die.
Oh, I love the stasis. I've actually seen it on stream, and it's a good thing they're adding some sort of delay to it, because instant stasis repeatedly can be really frustrating.
Oh, that's silly. It is.
Oh,
I mean, to be honest, I probably would have never mastered that use of that, but, you know, just being able to have it... Like, imagine if one goes off right now. All the rest of his units go home, because he can't do anything.
Yeah, and I mean, effectively taking half of your opponent's army out of the battle for a minute is insane. That's insane. Why? How? That's OP. I'm a Protoss player. That sounds just broken.
There's a Void Ray coming out, but I think this is going to hurt Fenton really badly. There's no ground defenses at all, which means the Lings will just go to town. Yeah, he can use Photon Overcharge, but that's a lot of roaches.
They're going to town.
Dark Shrine.
Protoss town.
If that Dark Shrine finishes, he's got a hope of defending this. So he's going to go for the... He's going for the nuts.
The pylon nuts, the Protoss nuts,
yep.
Low-hanging nuts. There we go. Void Ray picking away, not going to do a whole lot of damage, especially without the prismatic alignment activated. Be nice to get armored bonus now.
Void Ray Dark Templar?
Dark Templar would be really great right about now.
Yeah, you can't summon any though.
No place to put them.
I don't know why he's asking though. I mean, he's the one doing it.
No, thank you. He says he's gonna depower this. No more Void Rays or anything.
Oh,
just move. This is brutal.
oh!
Brutal
He's
attack.
stabilized in the natural. Cannons are awesome like that.
I don't think these roaches are gonna go home.
No, but they're gonna kill a lot of little dudes before they leave.
Only 2.
7, 8. But okay. Thing is, this isn't...
One roach left. No, gotta kill it. No, don't let him live. The yellow blended in with the probes. I think he lost track of it, and I lost track of it too. I don't feel bad about that, Mr. Fenton.
Well, worker counts are actually about identical, surprisingly enough. And Fenton was really badly supply blocked until a moment ago. So now the only thing he's got building is Void Ray, which there are going to probably be adequate defenses to deal with by the time he tries to do anything with it. And Fenton has to make a choice right now. He has to decide, am I going to go for an attack, or am I going to expand? If he goes for an expansion, I would really love to see maybe some harassment with DTs, try to top any additional expansion attempts by LoopyLoo, buy him some time. The hardest resource to obtain in StarCraft, I am quoting Rifkin. This is a thing that never happens, but he said something unbelievably intelligent earlier today.
What was that?
And when I say it never happens, just because I never watch him. Still, like, I'm not trying to say he's dumb. In any case, he said, time is the hardest resource to obtain in StarCraft. It's harder than minerals, it's harder than gas. And it's the thing you need the most.
Buying time.
But, yeah, and as you can see here, this is a very effective time-gathering method. He's going to run up to this base. As soon as the DTs pop up, he's going to think, oh, I don't have detection. If he tries to run the Hydras over, he's going to take a huge amount of worker damage. And the Void Rays will just finish off the building real quick.
Oh dear. Cancel just in time. Drone does get away, actually.
He doesn't want to fight fellow detection. Oh, everything's dying. The Void Rays are awkwardly slow. Well, that would have been great if he just ran away. Yeah, GG.
And the GG's. Loopy takes the series.
I don't think he had GG there, but I can understand that. It was looking pretty bleak from his perspective.
Oh yeah, and I mean, just Void Rays flying over creep. I mean, that's desperate last resort there. They move so slowly. They're about as slow as carriers. Cool. We're gonna corral these 2 players back into Skype. We can get a hold of both of them.
Okay.
Nice exit interview, and right after this, we're gonna move straight into the next match. Right, 8 p.m.
And presuming we have the players.
5 p.m. PST.
Oh.
Oh.
Is it too early to come here?
No.
Yes, get out.
Hey! Alright, fine.
I mean,
Bye.
no.
Oh, damn it.
No,
I was
no.
gonna press end call, but my mouse
No.
was confined to StarCraft.
Hello.
Oh, okay,
Hello!
good.
Hello.
Good game! Good game.
So we got Fenton and LoopyLoo back here, and since we're still a little bit behind, we're going to keep this relatively concise. So Generally, all we do at this point is I ask you guys to talk about your perspectives on both games. So, just as a reminder for anybody popping in who maybe didn't watch the whole thing, game one was played on Vonnie Research Station and won by LoopyLoo. So we will start with that one.
I won that one.
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah. Fenton won the one. Anyway, yeah. So I randomed Terran, didn't I? And he was Protoss because he chose it because that's reasonable. Yeah, Terran is my my least best race.
I have that backwards. Sorry. There we go.
But yeah, so that game, there's one semi build I know for Terran, and that's exactly what you saw today. And so I thought. I did a little bit of gaming earlier on StarCraft, like a few games, and I didn't get Terran once, so I didn't really know what I was planning, and so I just kind of did with the old. I usually do that against Zergs and Terrans, so yeah, I did it anyway. Trying to be aggressive because I'm not very good at that, and it's easier. It's better to practice what you're not so good at. And his defense was just really good, and yeah, didn't work out. Cannon's already in his mineral lines for the Banshee. Yeah. It was good defense that game.
Yeah, I thought he held pretty well. How did it look from your perspective, Fenton?
I was surprised when I saw just nothing but Hellbass just marching up the front door. I was a little frustrated when he got in, but anything Covert Muffin has taught me is every time he screws me, just stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. Like, I wanted the GG so bad. I'm like, all right, I can hold them. I listened to you guys. I double forged, made some improvements, and I just did my standard thing. And then the second I destroyed that army, I'm like, all right, I need to go. I need to go get him. And then GG. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was definitely the right call there. He took out I think a base's worth of workers, actually. Might have not felt like that, LoopyLoo, but yeah, you got like 13 to 16-ish, I think.
Ooh, that's better than I thought I did.
If you had been spending all the bank, it would have been a little closer on the defense at least.
Should have maybe macroed a little bit more.
That's
instead
okay.
of having a
It's
third
okay.
base that sat there for about 10 minutes.
It's okay.
Not
I mean,
doing anything.
just requires practice, which wasn't happening due to the whims of random. So it's understandable outcome.
Yeah, I don't think I did too badly.
No.
But you know, yeah, it was a good game. I had fun with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It was good. As for game number 2, we had blah blah Cactus Valley, map that I actually don't get to cast on much because people usually veto it. And this one, you guys decided to play a PVZ, but reversed from your like what you would probably typically play. So this was LoopyLoo on the Protoss. So this one was picked up by you, but I did the initial one backwards, so we'll keep the premise. Well, I mean, we'll keep this established idea going. So Fenton, we'll start with you.
Okay, thanks. I figured I'd do Zerg, just do something different, something you guys have never seen, and I practiced this build probably 30 minutes before we all got on live, and he had just excellent defense. I got my roaches out. I was a little slow. My macro was pretty bad. I saw I had 2k minerals in the bank, and then once he pushed through, like, he had that excellent force field, and once that army was gone, I haven't ever made it to late game or I guess later game Zerg, so I just didn't really know what to do. And then he just kind of marched in. I was like, all right, you won.
Yeah, that one went a little better for LoopyLoo for sure. But yeah, how is this one looking from your perspective?
That was a very touch and go game. So many times I thought I'd lost. Like, all right, so I decided that game that I wanted to be greedy because basically everything I tend to do is on a whim. So literally, I was going to build the gateway, and like halfway moving there, I was like, forge. So I was just like, I feel like making early expand and just see how it goes because I was one game down. I felt like doing standard wouldn't really cut it. And also I'm a very greedy Protoss player. When I get Protoss, I always go double upgrades. You may have noticed I liked my upgrades. I think I may have dismissed army to get upgrades that game. So when he attacked, I just want to say that those probes saved me. Pulling those probes and surrounding those roaches. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was a pretty scary situation. It was one where I mean, it's a little bit of a touch and go decision, and thinking to yourself, okay, cool. If I just kill the Nexus, even if I lose my army, I'm in a pretty good spot. That's not a bad thought. Could have also suppressed the army, just like kill off the Overlord, kill off the Immortal, and then kite the probes away, which would have been pretty effective. It was a scary situation, no matter what, for the Protoss, though. Like that's please don't kill me sort of situation.
Exactly. And then on the later half, like after I just got through that ordeal, I was a bit timid with fighting because I just thought he'd have a force. So I was gonna go head first, like hope it goes well. And then I thought, oh yeah, hallucinations, go. And then I decided to just use a couple of hallucinations, see where he was expanding, so I knew where to attack. Check where he was so that he wouldn't kill me. And
Sure.
And I was surprised I won that game, I got to admit. When he said GG, I was just like, oh my god, thank you.
Oh, sweet mother of mercy.
Christmas come early this year.
All right. Well, you had that. Okay, a pretty interesting situation playing the opposite of your normal races. So obviously you flipped things around for the last game. Although I think you guys picked both random and somehow got your mains.
Yeah,
Is that what happened? Yeah.
I didn't expect him to go random. I was just like, oh god, he went random, and then he got Protoss. So, yeah.
Yeah, this one got interesting for sure. I have to say, but well, for this one we'll start with Fenton again. We go for the Oracle opening, and of course, naturally, when you get there, there's ready defenses. How does that feel?
I was almost like, maybe he won't, and then you get there and you're like, oh, he did. It was just it was like a secret hope, and like maybe he forgot it, maybe just this one time, and he didn't. So I was like, all right, what 2 units do I never play on here? DTs and Void Rays. So I was like, oh, maybe I can just pick off Overseers with Void Rays and just DT my way through, and that was kind of my. It's not a very safe build, if a build at all. So, and then when he marched up that front gate, I was like, I had 1 Void Ray and a Mothership, and I was like, I don't think I'm going to hold this. So.
Oh, no.
But no, good strategy by him to pick off those pylons, because if he didn't do that, I could have probably come back a little stronger, but that really delayed me by quite a bit.
Yeah, that was pretty paralyzing. It's always a difficult thing to deal with. At the end of the day, though, almost had a pretty good counterattack going, though, with the DTs and the Void Rays, but he had the appropriate response for that.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
LoopyLoo, from your perspective, talk about this game.
Right. I'm pretty proud of this game because, truthfully, I think that might have been the best scouting I've ever done in any game of StarCraft I've played. Because normally I'm like, oh, they have this thing. Okay, bye. But this time, I decided to I took the same path as usual. Go over their ramp and then go over their natural was my usual path. And got a glimpse of the Cybercore and I thought, okay, everything's normal. He's decided to go for like Stalkers early. So I was gonna move my Overlord away, and I thought actually I'm just gonna leave it so that the vision goes above the natural, so that maybe he can escape if he gets attacked. And then I was just continuing as normal, and I kept checking back at the Overlord, and I kept seeing that there was no expansion, and that was confusing me a bit. And then I was just thinking, what does a Protoss do with an early Cybercore without an expansion? And then I was like, build a spores, queens everywhere. And yeah, I was right, luckily. I might have been wrong. Maybe he just really liked sentries, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, he could have been doing that. He could have been doing Stalkers.
Yeah, I made a gut decision that he was going Oracle. I quite often build spores in my mineral lines anyway, and I was going to go for 3 queens anyway, but I wouldn't have had the spores in time if I hadn't have kept checking his side.
Sure.
And yeah, I was just happy with that. And in terms of the rest of the game, yeah, I normally target pylons when I attack Protoss. Well, depending on what they're powering. If it's just like a Cybercore that's not doing anything, then maybe not. But you know, when I saw that 2 pylons were powering like all your ground units, that's when I was like, yeah, okay, pylons. And yeah, having layer tech already, it was quite easy to just go to Hydras, make Overseers, which I do normally anyway with my army, and not die.
Cool. Makes sense. All right, guys, that does it pretty much for discussing the games. So we're going to end this off, and then we'll need a 2-minute break to pull in Ghost Gambit, who's going to be casting with me for games 2 and 3. Zero will still be observing and streaming, but understandably, we're going to give him the ability to not talk for a while.
Thank you, I love you.
Yeah, well done for casting today, by the way.
Thank you.
Yes, yes.
And our next match is the Protoss versus Mercury, presuming that we have the players. We have Mercury. I don't know if we have Protoss yet. We'll find out. In any case, we'll see you guys in a little bit.
Bit.
Bye.
Bye. Synced.